Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi. I'm having trouble with my machine because I'm running Visual Studio, Android Studio all at the same time. So just give me a minute. Oh, and also I'm also building an app. Let me just do this. Cool. I think it's getting resolved now. Just close a bunch of windows here.
Nice wallpaper.
Nice. Thanks. Alright, cool. Cool. So guys, welcome to Angular Native. So basically this session is going to be mainly on native script. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. So native script has for a while now have an option for Angular. There's also other options of creating a native app. So you would have Vue, I think React as well. I don't know if you guys have heard about React Native. That's another beast. It's totally different from native. It's totally different from reactive native script. Yeah. Okay, cool. So today, this is what I'm going to be focusing on. This session should be about 20 minutes. That's if everything compiles well and everything builds well and everything. Yeah. Okay, cool. So basically, let me just give you a rundown of what's going to happen. We gonna get started. I'm gonna tell you what you need in order to get everything going. I'm also going to show you different ways, different approaches of how to install Angular Native, and we're just gonna open it up and see like how does it look like, because it's a shared project basically, and then we're gonna run it, see how it looks, and then we're gonna do some preview stuff, which is why I said we should bring your phones. Alright.
You have to download this thing from the Play Store.
Hey?
You have to download it from the Play Store.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Alright, cool. Let's get right into it. So, so before we go into what do you need, I'm just gonna share like a bunch of disadvantages that come with this. All right, cool. So, one, if you don't know Angular, buy it. It's been so basically, it's really useful if you know TypeScript, not particularly Angular, but TypeScript. So it also NativeScript also has an option for just JavaScript. You can go for that as well. And another thing is you can't. This is much for me because that's what I thought going in. So you can't actually preview the app on a browser. You can't do that. There are other ways to preview it, which is quite cool. We'll go into that in a bit. But you can't preview it in the browser. You can make two apps, which will be the normal, say you have like maybe a CMS or whatever, and then you'd have the native one. So you'd develop them the same, you'd make them look exactly the same, and that's how maybe you'd see the other one maybe on the browser and then the other one on the actual app or emulator. Right, cool. So talk about emulators. You would need to install Android Studio. That's just to because Android Studio just comes with that emulator and AVDs or something. So you can manage your emulators, create one and stuff. You need something over version 25, and also you need to set this environment. It's called Android Home. NativeScript requires it. It's what it looks for when you're trying to run it. And then you would also need an emulator or a device, an iOS device or an Android device, and then you just need to run a bunch of commands, which I'll show you just now. Cool. Let's go for it. New window. Cool. Let's try this here. Right, cool. So we will write as little code as possible. Okay, so for installing, you would need to run these 3 commands. So I found it best that it works with Angular 6, the beta version. So you do this. Cool. So this is what you do. So you install Angular 6 beta version, and then you would install the native script schematics, and then the native script package as a whole. And then that schematics one is for, okay, so Angular 6 has schematics for like stuff like Bootstrap. So this means it's a way for them to integrate with these Node package managers. Node packages basically. So they so the library would have to have those schematics so that it can integrate well with Angular 6. Yeah, and then so you'd have to install that, and then we could do that, but I've done it already on my machine. But we could. It's just that I'm afraid it's gonna be slow. Let me see if it's this is still running. Yeah, it's still running. 92%. So yeah, we'll do this maybe a bit later. But it's very, very, very slow. Alright, cool. So after you've installed these, what would happen is you would okay, so now you'd have to decide. It's either you would use the Angular CLI or the native script CLI, right? So that native script command will install with it including the CLI. So how you test this? Let's open up a new command prompt. Okay, so I've already installed it. So it's so just like in Angular, you'd use ng, maybe ng new app, and then that'll create a new app. Ng serve, it'll run the app. So here you'd use instead of ng, you use tns. So if I do this, it'll show me a bunch of commands that I can run with tns. Anytime now. Okay, how's your small talk, guys? Okay. We'll wait. Okay, cool. There you go. So these are the commands that you can run here. So okay. So as I said, you'd have to decide, right? Which way to go. Whether you want to do it with native script purely, or with the Angular CLI. Okay, so the best approach, if you want the shared project, is you'd have to create, if you haven't created already, you'd have to create the Angular app, and then, okay, so I'll show you commands now. Let's do this. So approach one is the best one. So you'd create the app, ng-new, and then you'd add the schematics so that it integrates with your new Angular 6 app. Okay, so and then what would happen is, unless if you're trying to create it from scratch, then if you're creating it from scratch, you just say ng-new schematics. So this tells the CLI what to install before it, or what to install with your Angular app, and then the name of the Angular app, and then it tells it what type of project is it, which is a shared project. Or you just say TNS, which is that TypeScript that's running now. Cool. Which is that TypeScript command. Right, cool. I've already created one on my here's one here. Cool, this is the one here. Okay, cool. So cool. So okay, let's just maybe create one just for show. So we'll say TNS create my school session and then wait, and then it's a dash ng. That'll create with the template. Okay, so while we do that, let's just open up the one that we have ready. Cool. It's a very basic app. So this is the template that it comes up with. So this is just part of the routing. So every page basically will get displayed in there. And then here would have your I think your list. So yeah, it's a bunch of code here. You can just remove it if you want. Okay, so but this is the point I was trying to make you see here. So there's this new way of annotating the actual layout of the native script. So for stacking, basically it's the equivalent of linear. Like back in the day, if you messed around with Android, you'd see there would be linear, grid, whatever. So stacked is equivalent to linear. It just stacks it up, and grid, obviously, you'd have it'd be according to how you'd set that grid on what columns and what rows. So here you can't do your own looping. You'd have to do it like this in this list view. You feed it like some items, and then here you could do like you can like have this item. This items gets pass through so basically how you would how you declare it on the fly is you'd say let item and then whatever you're passing into that template. So I don't know if we delve into NG templates last time we did Angular sessions, but that's what you do. And then you use that item object in whatever way you want it to. Okay, so let's go back here. So this is getting what you call this? So this is getting items from your TypeScript logic. So it comes in here and gets the item from the service. Let's go to the service. So it just pretty much works like a regular Angular app, except that it has this module ID thing, which I still don't know yet myself. And then okay, let's go to the service. So it comes in an item service. There's already like an array here of items. So these items get chucked in here and they get received by the list view here and the list view. Okay, so let's just run this. Alright, so before we run this, let's just make sure our emulator is up and running. Drag this through. Okay, terminal. And then new terminal. Okay. So how you do this? You'd say TNS run and the platform. So if it's iOS, you say iOS, but the iOS one is a bit tricky because you need to pair with the device. I don't know if iOS people know. Yeah, so you'd have to pair with the device so that you could run it on there. So I don't have that, so I'll just run it on the emulator. So we might have to wait a bit. Okay, while we wait for that, there's something that I need you guys to get started with. I'll just maybe cool. So I've posted something on the school channel. If you guys go to that link and download the preview app.
So in this install file, you said that we must.
Yeah. Bring your
Without knowing what's in it. Just checking. Don't trust you.
Alright, cool. So it's running now locally. You guys just let me know when you've opened it up. You open it up? Oh, you download. Okay, are you guys downloading? Cool. So that's the first app you should download. Now there's a second one that you should download. So we'll get to that one in a bit. Alright, cool. So I think like it's refreshing. It does that after a while.
So does it pick up whatever everything is currently running on your laptop?
Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see here, it's getting all those details we just saw in the service. This is different. This is the compiled version. What am I doing now? Cool. TypeScript. Alright, cool. So it's getting all these Terstegen, I can't say it. So Terstegen, goalkeeper here, as you can see, goalkeeper as well here. And then so yeah, PK here, defender, yeah, cool. So yeah, basically that's it. That's how you install, get it running. Okay, cool. So now, have you guys? Okay, let me just. Snap. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, yeah. Alright, cool. So, come on. Okay, cool. Now, what I liked about it, which is why I made an effort to make this session, is the ease of how you could create the app. So what you could do is you could just open this up and you can instantly just start creating an app which is cross-platform in regards to iOS and Android. So I need you guys to please scan this.
Okay.
So so when you scan it, it should ask you to download the preview app. So do that. Oh, it's closed. Are you guys still scanning? Cool. Wait, you download the preview app as well?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, you already had the preview app. Yeah, from the other side. Yeah. You guys downloading?
The preview.
Let's get it.
Cool.
More?
Cool. So let me know when it's done. Yeah. Right, cool. So, just let me know when you've downloaded it. But yeah, so the native script still has a long way to go. It doesn't support Angular 7, obviously, because that's what's out right now. If you to install the Angular CLI now, it supports Angular 7, so it will force you to run Angular 7, which is not really supported by native script. So there's a bunch of stuff that it's still struggling with right now, but it's a growing platform. So I'm pretty sure it will fix some of these issues in the long run. But for now, it's still a bit buggy somewhere. So yeah. Is anybody running?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, so
Yeah.
I just have home. So.
I mean, I actually selected something and it took me here.
oh, cool.
What's
Yeah.
his name?
Is it preview?
Yeah. Eh?
Go back to the sliders.
Oh, it's doing good.
Scan again.
Do you have to scan again?
Eh? No.
Good. No.
How is it?
Scan the QR code with your mobile device and much changes singular. Oh, so I think we have to scan it again. So it picks up on myself.
Eh?
Scan.
Jeez. Okay, now I
But
have
that's
to.
the QR code. Isn't that the one there? Oh,
The
no.
image.
Well, the thing is, like after you scan, it wants to refresh as well.
Mine is stuck to play with the native script. Yeah, that's my fault. But it's not. The J7 Pro. Oh, there we go.
What?
What? I can copy too. I think I'm hacking
You guys got it?
But the end version.
You should have play with native script.
Yeah.
Play with native script. You guys have that? Play with native script.
Yeah, you
Play with native script.
I don't know what I'm doing.
What did you
I'm in the
It's
back
not
end.
Just like the other QR.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah.
It's just like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just like that for now.
I've been here.
Oh, I thought before. I thought like.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, cool.
I'm gonna get the
Okay,
goalkeeper.
we're all here.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
No. No, it's supposed to be like this. You guys get this?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool. So what I liked about it is that you could basically from here just start throwing in stuff. There's a bunch of other templates as well that you could choose from here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play around with this, add a few things. So from this, let's just maybe add a button there at the bottom. So this is a stack layout, right? So it should just stack my buttons just fine. So if I do this, and then maybe have the button change this label to okay, let's change that. So let's say this is my text. You guys can suggest some other stuff if you wanna. And then just come here to the logic, and then so it's already created the method for me. And then here we can just say, jeez, you can just say my text. And then we can say, yeah, just say this is type string. Yes, this is type string. And then we could say, it should say this, my text is to my, button. Wait. Something like that. And then I'll save this. Just make sure that the link gets updated. Did it update?
Yeah, it was
Cool.
messaging.
Yeah. So if you press, not for you. Alright, cool. Here's the QR code again.
Get a scan again.
Wait.
$12.99.
So you can add to the same thing. What's $12.99? Scan.
We're in checkers right now.
We checkers.
Oh, I have to go back.
Can I scan?
Oh, okay. I don't think you guys should go check.
What's it? Who's open? Who's open?
$39 please.
Ah.
Sorry.
Although
Nothing.
the buttons are working then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who's always making that noise?
Cool. That's the button.
Is that why you're saying when you check them?
Very cool. So if you press the button, it should change the text.
I'm just gonna spam it.
What's the device locks?
Eh?
It doesn't bring
Eh?
Device locks there. It's counting.
That's the errors that people are getting.
All of us.
Yeah.
So like can pull like all users that currently previewing
Yeah.
will show you that.
Yeah.
Please show us.
that. You can bring that so bad.
I didn't even tell you that. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So
That's cool though. That's
Yeah.
like just very cool. Sure.
One line.
So you can see like
Change
each
it.
user
Huh?
what they do. That's cool.
So if you change your phone name to like Tanzania.
There's a button there as well.
I could do
I forgot to do this.
We're trying to break it up.
Yeah.
It's not a function.
Come on, guys, we need to get it. Let's hope we get you 500.
Yeah, boy.
Cool. Yeah. It works now. It works.
Oh.
Native script. Okay, cool.
Hey.
Okay, I think
iPhone error. Oh snap.
Oh, no. Does it feel? In the box is the phone.
It was iPhone 4.
Alright. Cool. I'll.
You need to pick us off of this. It's gonna keep going up.
We have abused this too much. We have abused this too much.
Wait. Let me see if we could find
Same Max is just
a solution. There should be a solution for.
Yeah.
Eh?
For that.
No, for that iOS thing. Let's see if we can quickly look.
That's it.
Yeah. Come on. Yes, there you
You
go.
can tell me what version of Aftermath just
Yeah. It's just iPhone.
very stingy with you. I'm proud.
It's okay. Maybe we'll change this to. Press. Okay, cool. Let's just move on, and maybe let's put in. Very cool. Let's just hope this works. I'm gonna put in another button in here that will take us to another activity. Cool. So this is going to. I hope this works. Like I haven't tried it yet, but it should just work.
We're gonna break it.
Okay, so this is going to take us to another. So let's just create a new component here. We're just going to say it is. So let's add one. We'll say it's. Oh snap. We'll create a folder first. New folder. Add folder. Let's call it detail screen. Detail screen, and then we'll add components in there. It'll just add a bunch of files in there. So add components. Detail screen. Add. Okay, should have added. Cool. If you come in here, it's empty. Alright, cool. So, snap. I'm running out of time. Alright, cool. I'll just show you the one I've been messing around with. Right, so just scan for this one. Try and break it. Did you guys get that? Cool. Nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
No, cool.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
Yeah. So. In the meantime, we'll try and fix the other one. So basically, that's what you can do. Like, we're just messing around here. With the app. Oh, one more time.
Tap this.
Yeah, and then it should give you a modal. I was just trying to test out how you can do modals in there. Wait, let me try and quickly fix the other one. That's how you do it, and you could like create like a bunch of other apps in here. In order for you to, yeah, you could create one on the fly, and it would create this ID for you, so you can reopen them again. And yeah, you could obviously you could download them as well and run them locally and try and maybe, because it's not really so easy to use sometimes. It is good for just getting you started, trying to make sure how you can get your components working, because you might not be familiar with how the layout might be. So this might be cool maybe to get you started. So yeah, and then you could download it locally, and then you could mess around with some more till you get what you want. So yeah, that's it, bro.